Hey guys and girls, welcome back to Poor Man's Bushcraft. Again, we are here for an alternative to your prepping slash survival needs. Um, Today's topic is the cost of high ammo and guns and maintenance and all this other stuff. Made me want a solution that was cheaper. So this is the route I went. You're thinking, okay, so what? You got an AK and a M4 there. Well, not exactly. If you look down here, you'll see that I got orange tips on these bad boys. And the reason I went with these is for the simplicity and the cost of ammo and stuff to run one of these airsoft guns as opposed to live ammunition or anything like that. For one, I live in a rural area and don't get out that much to do a lot of firearms training and exercises and stuff like that. In a rural area, permitted by your local laws, these things can be shot within city limits because they are not super high velocity as opposed to this one here, and we'll get to that one in a minute. What I want to talk about here is as far as exercising, working on maneuvers, working on laying down fire, laying ambush, all this stuff like this, cost effectively can be done with air guns or airsoft. These are partial metal and partial plastic. The weight of them is fairly close to real firearms. So how do these shoot? Well, not great down long range, but for having some short range exercises for clearing rooms, setting ambush, that type of thing, these are great. You can get different kinds of magazines for these. These right here, or this one, is a high cap roller. So 300 or 400 rounds goes in there, and then when you crank the little wheel on the bottom, it feeds more BBs up into a feeder. Same with the AK one. Fill it there, turn it there, and 300 or 400 rounds you can play around. You can get what they call mid caps, which are like 100 rounds, so that you're forced to do those magazine changes. But how similar is one of these, or how similar are these compared to real firearms? Just judging as far as general size, you can see that the AK mag is about the same size. It loads the same way with the front going in first and then the magazine catch right. Your fire select is here. Yes, I know I missed that paint right there, but I did that on purpose for line of sight to show that it is in a firing position. How they fire. Normally you wouldn't dry fire these, but there is a piston up in here that's fed on an electric motor from your handles. Some of the electric motor places, but most of them I believe are in handles. So going down to like a semi-auto, and if you are lucky enough to be one of the people who have fully auto, so you can practice those short bursts. The batteries are low on this one, so it should be a higher rate of fire. Same as on the M4. Magazines are about the same size, or practically are the same size, going up in there. Let me get this AK out of the way. Okay, so on an M4 or an AR-15 platform, you got options you do on regular M4s and AR-15s with the collapsible stocks, the foregrips, S-rails, Picatinny rails, adjustable or removable. Why that focus is killing me. Okay, so adjustable for and folding fore and rear sights. I have standard flip-up sights on these due to the fact that I'm using a red and green dot, and these don't have to be expensive ones. This is yeah, whatever that is. I'm not seeing it good through the phone, but anyway, so these don't have to be expensive. California, your laws may vary very strongly compared to here back east. I believe you guys have to have clear plastic bodies, but for training purposes, that's still going to get you where you want to be. This one here has the S-rail system on it. That's just the way I got it, and you know, I'm happy with that. But I could take this S-rail system off and just put regular forward grip on here and use Picatinny rails, quad rails, or whatever you want to call them. Mine has a little broken plastic piece that's in this charging handle, or in the charging handle, that would normally flip the dust cover over. I can still get in there, but these don't have to necessarily have those open to fire them, but you can still work by pulling your loading, or your loading chambers, your forward assists. But yeah, it is a toy, but it's for the purposes of training, and it's cheaper than shooting live ammunition. On the M4s, you still have the selector switch, which is safe fire, or safe, semi, and full. So for just a quick couple of bursts, there's your semi, and then your full. And like I said, these batteries are low, so I'm getting a lower rate of fire. So there you go. You have a way to train on your gun safety, your clearing and sweeping buildings, setting up ambush, setting up patrol, just for the training purposes of carrying the weight. If you like out and you're going out on a run and gun, and you don't want the liability of carrying a live firearm, one of these, like I said, is still pretty much up to weight to a real one. And take that mag out. These are great training tools for around the $100 to $200 range. The cheaper you get, the cheaper these get. So yeah, it is an investment in the beginning, but as far as, you know, buying 5,000 rounds of BBs for one of these, it's, you know, like $10 or something like that, even less. You can equip these with all different sights. I have a red green dot scope on here, like I showed you before. And am I going to be able to do this? Now, there's the green dot right there, going the other way, which you really can't see in daylight, but there is also a red dot. I think you guys can see that green dot. Anyway, yeah, so, you know, fully adjustable windage and elevation and all that good stuff. Another cool thing about these is the shot itself. In this one and in this one, on some of the higher end ones, you can actually adjust the travel and distance out of one of these for the BB itself. There's a thing called a hop up inside this, and I'll show you what that is. But when the BB fires, it stays on a projected line to a certain point, and because the BBs are round, the equal air force from top and bottom will cause them to drop off early. This is exaggerated here, but you know what I mean. They'll drop off early. So in these, if you want longer range shots, you pull in there, and there's, see that little bitty thing right there? This little adjustment, and you see this little track right here? Okay, that's up. And what that does is there's a piece that's in here at the end of the barrel that's got rubber on it, and it kind of scoots us down a little bit and catches just the top of the BB, which puts backspin on it, which will keep it from doing this to doing this. And if you put too much of that hop up on it, so you know, there's ways to adjust these and have some fun with them. As far as AKs, some of the attachments still all work. You got rifle slings. They have a fake cleaning rod normally, but mine came up missing. Could you bayonet these? Well, I don't know if you could, but why would you want to? Honestly. So, you know, something to think about. I just got done painting these, and I found one that I missed. So, it's going to be an ugly spot, probably. No, not too bad. It's just a brown carryover. So that's kind of cool. Paint them up. Treat them just like your real guns. The only thing that you'll really need to know about these is for oiling purposes, you need to use 100% silicone oil. Anything else gums these up and wears the motors out in them real bad. But that is kind of the gist of it. It is an awesome idea for an alternative to shooting live ammo. And you can pretty much set these up the way you carry your real AKs or ARs. On another note, for the prepping community and just general survival, getting your hands on one of these. A lot of people say, well, I got my 22, or I got this, I got that. And what do we box of 22s? Let's say a 50 count of 22 rimfire. Okay, so for about the same price, you get a 500 count of 177 or 22 caliber pellets. This one is in 22, 3x9 by something, I don't know. It's just a cheap air rifle scope to help see down range a little bit. Break barrel, and this is the kind that has the piston in it instead of the spring. A little more quiet. There's a big stack of videos out there that will fight whether you should go spring or whether you should go piston. And that's really up to you. Fire both. You know, find somebody that has one of each. Find out what you like. For me personally, I think that the spring guns shoot more violently and can be very, very loud when that clang of that spring goes off. But people will swear up and down that they shoot further and stronger than these piston guns. Personally, I like a little more quiet gun, and I believe personally that guns like this one, the piston guns, are somewhat more quiet and less violent to shoot. I'm not going to get too far into the ups and downs on spring versus piston. There are plenty of videos out there that, you know, say cold weather this, hot weather that, lubing this, lubing that, piston breakdown, spring replacements. There's a fight for everything, you know, whether it's airsoft or air rifles. That's pretty much, you know, following the market. So just a few ideas of something as an alternative to using live ammunition is air rifles and airsoft for training, air rifles for hunting, and airsoft for training. These use a 8.4. On average, they come with an 8.4 battery. That the AK is the easier one to get out, so that's the one I'll show you. The M4s are usually up in the foregrips, which means you got to do some finagling. But here we go. Are familiar with RC cars, or are kind of familiar already with some airsoft. I upgraded to the 9.6, which gives it a little bit faster fire rate and velocity, as I understand it. But you can buy these in a 2-pack on Amazon. Just visit your local Chinese store or whatever they are. And then I purchased as well a smart charger, which will allow you to select the amps that are going in, and these shut off when they're done charging. Some of the standard chargers do not shut off for that, which causes overcharging. I'm going on and on and on. I'm like 6 minutes over where I wanted to be on this video, but look into it. Give it a. If you have any questions, I'll try my best. Like I said, I am kind of new at this myself as far as the airsoft, and I mean, we've all had pellet rifles since we were kids. So, you know, what's good for you? Like even some of the air rifles that are pumps. You know, the old Crossman pump rifles. There's people that swear by them, and they've got videos online that will absolutely impress you as far as the capabilities of some of those pump air rifles. I just wanted something single break, you know, load shoot, not a bunch of pumping and stuff like that. I don't want to wear myself out on a rabbit hunt. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off, guys. I went way long on this one. Thanks for staying with me if you did. Hope this gives you an idea of the route you can go for your training purposes. And let's face it, you know, just the fun of getting out and shooting each other with these things. You know, it's a blast. And there are, you know, places you can go that actually, you know, are set up for airsoft to have fun with and shoot each other and play by the rules and stuff. Or just get out in the woods and have fun with your family and your friends and do the training. Get the knowledge with a weapon that is as close to real as possible. And you can still use fire discipline and safety and all that stuff with these airsoft. And as far as hunting, dollar for dollar, you're going to be cheaper with this than you are, say, a 22. Don't get in no fights or on the reality of this versus a 22 rimfire. I know there is a difference. I understand that. But, you know, that is an option. Also, this is an option for people who may not be allowed to have guns. I don't know, like Great Britain, Australia, I mean, their gun laws are pretty tight and different than ours. State to state, gun laws can be hugely different from state to state. So, you know, check out what your legalities are on these. Have fun, train, and I'm going to go ahead and call that. We're almost at 20 minutes. My little helper just showed up out here. Tell him, be safe with guns.
Be safe with guns?
Yes, be safe with your guns. Thanks for watching, guys and gals, and we'll see you on the next one.